Annie. A round of applause, please. Keep clapping, please. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, so I want a better response. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, fellow enthusiasts, fellow visionaries in the cryptocurrency and the blockchain industry, I have a topic before me titled The Blockchain, Exploring the Challenges and, of course, New Frontiers and New Possibilities. And I hope that in the next few minutes, I will be able to do enough justice to this. For me, I like to call this industry crypto. Of course, so I could be using the intersection of blockchain and crypto. The only word I'm not so comfortable with that we've used since 2022 or 21 is the word Web3. I kind of still not with that. So Africa has a population of over 1.3 billion people. And amongst these 1.3 billion people, imagine for a moment the entire landscape of Africa, from the hustles and bustles in the streets of Ikeja, Oshodi, the streets of Lagos, to places like Nairobi or Benin Republic. And there's need for us to do business across these states, countries, Kenya, Nigeria, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa. And imagine for once that we have a technology that beyond or with just beyond the internet can connect us and value can be transferred from somewhere in Osun State to somewhere in Johannesburg, South Africa without the need of a central bank. And so that's why today my keynote presentations on the new frontiers and the new blockchain technology, we explore the following. First, we explore the challenges that is facing implementation of the blockchain industry or implementation of blockchain in Africa. And after that, we will now look at the possibilities. We'll look at the potentials. We'll look at what is in need for Africa with the blockchain technology. If you want to write, please get notes because I will teach and share certain points. I feel that if we deal with these things, of course, there's a bright future for us in Africa. Are we ready? Okay, so let's look at some of the challenges of implementing blockchain technology first of all. Number one is lack of internet infrastructure and technology usage. Have you noticed that sometimes when you book Bolt or Uber, your Uber driver starts asking you, where is your location? And so why is he asking for a location when the same thing is still there on that simple application? What about internet penetration? There are some places if you go to today, even in almighty Lagos, it will still be hard for you to probably access simple things like Google or your web browser because of lack of internet infrastructures. So imagine for those who are also in rural communities, okay? From the last statistics or data I got, Morocco and Egypt have the highest internet penetration. Nigeria is still sitting at about 50 to 55%. So, and you can't talk about people using blockchain for money transfer or whichever use case without internet. So that's one of the problems hindering blockchain implementation in Africa, or usage, or what we call use case. Let's look at another one. Another one is lack of infrastructure. And so there is a lot of potentials with us using blockchain. And before I continue, I want us to know something. A lot of people keep saying, away from a little bit of the discussion I'm having here, a lot of people keep saying things like, the crypto market is in a bear market. But if we look at it at the other angle, we are currently in a blockchain bull run, especially for private blockchains. You won't see a problem with government trying to implement simple things like blockchain policy for whatever they want to do for government. So there are blockchain programs, blockchain infrastructures, maybe on the private level, not at the public level. And when I say at the public level, I mean public blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of them that you may have it. There are parastatals, individuals, companies that are implementing, using blockchains. If we even get to understand it, some of these CBDs or similar things like Inera are trying to incorporate, or they will use blockchain infrastructure. So there's a blockchain bull run already happening. Blockchains being used in parastatals, governments, to do whatever they want to do. Of course, we can also see that recently there was this blockchain policy released by either federal government or one of those parastatals, the former minister of is it digital economy or so, and information. So let's look at it. We have a problem of infrastructure. What's the level of power or energy that we have? We can't host or power a Bitcoin mining facility in Africa, in Nigeria. How many of you have seen a Bitcoin mining farm in Nigeria? Zero. But in a place like Texas, there's a huge economy for Bitcoin mining. And the problem is this. You know, a lot of us keep looking for several use case, companies who are to work in crypto, and it looks like everything is just, what we're doing is just WhatsApp, internet, and it stops there. Why? Because there are no infrastructures to power Bitcoin mining farms, for instance. And you know that when an industry is opened, it creates other demand for other value chains. For instance, by the time you want to buy or do Bitcoin mining, you're going to buy physical instruments, you're going to buy hardwares, and those hardware will create demand for people who are producing it, the game cards and all that. We don't have those things. And that's why it looks as if everything about Africa concerning crypto is limited to buying and selling. So we still lack infrastructure. One of the problems we also have, or before that, I want us to also know that as of today, with the entire Bitcoin mining facility in the US, they have a market cap of about $10 billion. That's revenue, that's cap, that's value on its own. So that's one problem too we're facing too with implementing crypto or blockchain in Africa. Let's look at another problem before we now look at what are the future potentials, current and future potentials for blockchain technology in Africa. Another one we have is political hurdles that is making us have regulatory uncertainty. Since 2017, I won't be able to share a picture here, but way back 2017, I was among those who used to go to CBN headquarters. So there was a time we had a symposium with crypto for crypto implementation, blah, blah, blah. We had so many talks. And since 2017, what year are we in now? Louder. So 2017 to 2018, 19, 20, 2021, 22, 23. It's been 6 years of going back and forth. Until today, we don't know the regulatory system for crypto in Nigeria. And it's the same thing in different parts of Africa. So for me, I stopped attending any meeting that has to do with talking with regulators. Because at the end of the day, it is not about the meeting we have. It is about what the political system decides for crypto. Somebody woke up one day and said they are banning crypto. 2021. And we just woke up and boom, crypto is banned from doing trading with banks. So that's a problem. And because of that, you would see things like either police harassment. Imagine when a police sees wallets, sees buying and selling on your WhatsApp group, automatically flags you as what? A Yahoo boy, as an internet fraudster. And if you've never done internet fraudster, you're now a victim of regulatory uncertainty. So that's some of the problems that has hindered blockchain implementation or even use case and adoption in Africa. Am I making some points here? And so let's look at another one too that is making us, because I know I'm not just talking to people who came to, a lot of us already are in crypto. A lot of us are already in the cryptocurrency industry. So events like these or meetings like these are there for us to now look at. If we see these challenges, what are the ways we can carve, shape a new future for this industry? And how are we going to navigate through the problems to bring out solution? Because at the end of the day, man himself can't do without problems. It is because of problems that we can bring out invention. Someone said, necessity is the mother of invention. So we will always find our way to make the industry better. And I'm sure that's the reason why we are also here, to learn, network, look at the problems, look at how we can collaborate together to make this industry become what it ought to be. Another problem that has happened in crypto, or that has affected blockchain implementation in Africa, is lack of trust and education. So first of all, we've had people, some last month, I was admitted into the emergency unit of Evercare. I had a serious health issue. And while I was in the emergency, they took me on a wheelchair down to the emergency before they could get me. I didn't even know, I wasn't so conscious of myself. And so there was this young doctor. When they finished giving me the drip at the emergency unit, they finished doing what they did, and I was fine and okay. And they were now going to run other tests to know what exactly was wrong with me. Then the doctor that was looking at me, the young doctor that was treating me, just came in and like, thank God, I know you'll be fine. So I'm like, so how are you doing now? How is your friend Tola? I said, Tola, fine. Yeah, I know you guys, the crypto guys. I bought Dogecoin 2021. I said, God. Doctor bought Dogecoin. Doctor, is Tolani you're following, not me? And, I just kept it there. The thing. I said, Doctor, how is it doing? He said, the thing has fallen. I'm ready to hold it for the next 5 years. Inside my mind, I said, Doctor, did you follow me or Tolani? So I'll tell you, I'm not the one who recommended you to buy Dogecoin at the top, please. And you could see that at that moment, the guy is like, of course, there was no threat. I was just using that as an example. There was no threat. Treated me and all that. But crypto has gone so wild that you could imagine a medical doctor who works somewhere in Evercare telling you he has access to it because probably he saw somebody, Chris Annie, Tolani, one Joseph, one tutor talking about it on the internet, and he got it. And imagine that guy, imagine the same doctor using his 2 months salary to buy Dogecoin in 2021. How will you look at crypto after there is a 60, 80% retracement in price? Of course, he will start losing trust, one. Aside that, there has been fraudulent Ponzi schemes, scams that have gone on the cryptocurrency industry, or platforms that have used crypto to move money. For instance, there was a day last 2-3 weeks, somebody recommended somebody to come do, because I run a crypto OTC DEX that does both FX, help people to transfer money, do remittance within and outside Nigeria. And this guy needed to change money. So the next thing we asked was KYC. And this young man was resisting KYC. He was going to transfer huge amounts of money, 100 million to buy USDT from me. And I'm like, we're going to do KYC confirmation. Only for me to verify that the Naira was about to transfer to us was from a Ponzi platform. So he had already received Naira, and the next thing is, he's going to transfer the same Naira to my platform, and I will give him USDT. And so, people have had that. There are people who, in short, when I came into crypto 2016, one of the first guys I had crypto from was from somebody who plays betting, runs a betting agency, and in his house, he was like a guider for MMM United. And so, imagine using crypto to do all these stuffs. It will also reduce trust amongst people. So, the thing is this. Crypto, like any other technology, is neutral. Like money, it is neutral. It is what you use it for that determines. It's no longer just about crypto itself. But for you to sanitize the average African to tell them, see, it is not crypto that is fraudulent. It is the people who are using these things. It's a problem. Because when trust is broken, it is actually hard to now mend it. Then you now talk about education. There's been a lack of course, we've been trying to do education. But I try to tell people something. One of the problems we still have with cryptocurrency education is that, first of all, there is still a little bit of gap in technology education first as a country. When I was growing up, when you are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, after secondary school, the first thing you're doing is to go and learn computer appreciation. That's the first way we got into tech. But today, everyone wants to move from learning computer appreciation. They won't learn computer appreciation. They want to jump into coding because they heard that coding is where the new money is. So that's the problem. You now see young people who know how to use social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but they can't use a computer. If you do a research now, you will see that. Of course, there are people who their parents are privileged, the young ones who at the age of 4, 5, they start using tabs already. So there's still an educational gap in technology. There's still a technology education gap. We're still talking to youths who, when they need to use Google, they want to prefer to ask you the question and use Google. And your ability to use Google is even a small test of an IQ, of your IQ. So let's look at the last one for this, financial barrier. Some of the things hindering blockchain implementation or use case in Nigeria, in Africa, is also lack of funding. Of course, according to MBO, they said blockchain funding has increased over the past 1-2 years. But the truth is that for how long? For how much? Some of the fundings have either gone to NFT programs that somebody made this joke last week in one of our crypto group, one of the early crypto groups in Africa, and said, so they released a report. NFTs are down 93%. And somebody now said, Omo, shebi crypto, we say we won't go bank the unbank. It can't be like saying that the unbank, they make money now. If you get the joke, he's trying to say those people who did not do anything with the NFTs, with your crypto, it's as if their monies are safe. Than those of us who try to do the banking thing, do the technology thing for the past 1-2 years. Of course, that's a joke, but we've seen people put monies on NFTs, metaverse, and all these things. But there's no problem with that. The only problem I have is this. I do think that if we're funding NFTs and Web3 for Africa, we're having a misplaced priority. Let those in the West do those ones. Let those of us, the major problem we have today here is to create crypto infrastructures that can enable Ebuka in Enugu send money to Li Wang in China, and the thing is seamless, and I don't need a central bank for this. So this will take me to the next things. What are the potentials, or how is crypto, or how is blockchain helping African economy, or how will it also help African economy? So let's go to this next phase, or the last phase of my teaching. How are we going to use blockchain to redefine the economy of African countries and the importance for the future? Now, hear this. Imagine a world where transactions, every contract is recorded on an unchangeable ledger. Imagine if all the houses in Lekki Phase 1, in Victoria Island, have a way we can track land usage documents. Imagine a place where my late father exposed me earlier on to buying cars in Cotonou. And recently, there was a time, 2019 or so, the last time I was in Benin Republic, I saw the bottleneck involved in people carrying Naira to go and buy cars in places like Benin Republic. So what if we just have the guy who is selling the car there at the Seme border and the guy who wants to buy here in Nigeria? I don't need to go to UBA. I don't need to go to FIM from A, from C, from D, from Central Bank. It's easy for me to either use stable coin or Bitcoin to move money and do transactions so easy. In short, when I was doing this crypto tour in Ghana, Cameroon, Benin Republic, Togo some years back, you could see some traders talk about the bottlenecks of just changing money. And when we began to expose them to the use of Bitcoin, USDT, they saw how seamless it is, but they still had the problem where they would change. From there, a local market was created. So we could change from local CFA to USDT, USDT to local CFA, and find a way to still bring the same money to Naira, because we still need to buy from here. So if you look at these things, they create business opportunities for you. If I were you today, I would look at all these bottlenecks in Africa and find a way to create a business out of it. In business, in building a business, in starting a business, one of the things you must know first is that you don't need to go and create demand. You only need to look for an existing problem and meet the demand by providing solution. Am I making sense here? And so let's look at some of the potentials. Number one potential or way we can redefine the economy of Africa with blockchain is e-government. E-government. So blockchain can improve transparency and efficiency in government operations, reducing corruption and improving public services. Digitalized government processes such as procurement, internal voting can benefit from the security and transparency of blockchain. My problem is this. We talk a lot about these things in conferences, events, with very little implementation. Very, very little. And I think that has to change. And that's why I wish that in events like this, we have these government officials, systems, regulators, business leaders who are also coming here to be part of this, to also hear and see the potential. Number two, where we can use blockchain to redefine the economy of Africa is access to capital. Easier access to capital. Now, take a look at this. Imagine you have a crowdfunding platform like GoFundMe, or you have a platform on the internet that helps businesses to raise capital. And I don't need to just send. So there's this friend of mine. He was raising way back in 2021, I think Paycos. And he said one of his investors, I think in US or one country like that, they talked on Telegram. And after talking on Telegram, it was time after listening to his speech, it was time for the guy to invest. And the guy just sent him about 60, 70,000 USDT. There was no need for the same money to pass through your CBN, pass through your bank. He had access to it. There was no need for the same guy to register his company in the US or Delaware and have his money domiciled in a US bank account. So for the first time in history, I can stay in Nigeria and I have investors all around the world and I do not even need to have a bank account. Access to capital. I know that things like ICOs have been rubbished, but let me give you the initial concept for ICO. ICO is saying, okay, let's say I have a business. I run a company called Daba. Daba is an edutech platform. And I know that Daba will be profitable in the next few years. So the next thing I do is I create maybe a token and I say, I want to go into edutech business. And I'm looking for $500,000. And I create tokens, apportion to it and say, we're going to do an ICO. Based on whatever you invest, it is tokenized. Okay? It is tokenized. Of course, it's still not so much different from your regular shares. But this time around, we're doing something with blockchain technology. And so, every year, the initial concept is, I sell those ICO to investors who want to be part of this. It is not compulsory that the DABA token I release should be listed on Binance. Some of the things hindering us today is that in the crypto industry, for instance, we are so much enthusiastic about buying and seeing candlesticks rather than implementing what this system is for. That's why you could see people in Bitcoin mining. They don't care. You could see people in remittance. They don't care. Whether Bitcoin is going up or down, I don't care. All I know how to do is, am I meeting a business thing? And that's why I'm going to say this to everybody. Let's become business-minded in crypto. We've become so gamble addicted in crypto that all we do is, ICO should be, I invest in this company, I wait, whatever comes in, they share to all these things. Simple. But we've turned ICO to, if I buy today, and I 100x, and if the coin dips, Chris, you're a scam. Chris, I said it, that guy. Every time he's posting crypto on Twitter, that's scam. And it doesn't work that way. The next one is secure land and property rights. So one day, my lawyer was doing something for my house in Lekki, and the man he was using in Lagos suddenly just died. The 3 million we paid to get a particular paper, gone. There was a time fire caught some part of Ikeja, their registry, this thing. Those documents, gone. You see, I used to say this. Every technology to make things efficient in Nigeria is available. The problem is willpower to make it work. So there's a guy called Nnamdi. He's building something called House Africa, where you can be in Australia and you can get access to your property rights and all that. I read something this morning, it was posted in CBAN group. How many of you are members of CBAN here? Members of CBAN. If you're not a member of CBAN, you're not helping the crypto community in Africa to grow, in Nigeria to grow. So I read something. I'm going to read it out now. A South African bank. So this is it. Use case. South African Big Four bank, First National, considers blockchain to digitize over 1 million customer title deeds. The CEO of First National Bank disclosed this information during a comprehensive interview following NLB. So the bank is still open to cryptocurrency, but they will do something like title deeds. And for over 1 million house, this is estimated to be $12.7 billion. When we come to events like this and we share these things with you, let me tell you something. Way back when I was in university, I used to go from Enugu down to Lagos sometimes to come listen to conferences. The purpose of the conference is not for you to just come and selfie, I attended, fine. Network, that's fine. When we share problems like this and opportunities like this, the first thing you start thinking, how can I build a business out of this? How can I take a simple business of customer title deeds on the blockchain as a developer and sit down? You see, it is one thing to have the skill of, let's say, you can build code, you can write codes, you can design. Where the money is in knowing how to do the business of that skill. And so you now take a simple idea. How can we digitalize the houses in Uyo in case you don't have access to Lagos? Take that blueprint, do a small thing. You can even use your street, your village as a simple title, a simple sample. Take it to government. And that's why a lot of businesses who build in blockchain will have to be B2G. And when I mean B2G, business to government. Business to government. So imagine the contractor, the business leaders, the company that will do this in South Africa, 1 million customer title deeds. Same thing with certificates. So instead of we knowing whether school in Chicago or Texas, we don't need to go to US courts. We only need to stay and check on the blockchain. Did you really attend Yaba Technology School? Or did you attend Chicago State University? Or here or there? Simple. There's no need for any court case to be dragged. Efficiency. Somebody can build that. So don't just come to events and think everything we're talking in the blockchain industry is let's buy, let's sell. If Chris say buy this coin and the coin goes down 50%, Chris has scammed me. The usual language in the crypto industry, rug pull. So real estate to benefit, right? Let's look at this one, and I love this one. I love this one, and this may be my last point. Remittance and financial inclusion. On the Bitcoin white paper, Satoshi wrote in the first sentence, Bitcoin. Who can tell me what the first sentence is for on the Bitcoin white paper? Bitcoin white paper. What's the first sentence? Okay, so what's the definition of Bitcoin on the white paper? Definition of Bitcoin on the white paper, crypto enthusiast. Peer-to-peer what? Come on, guys. Are you guys with me? Have I been talking to air? I know you know it, but you've forgotten, right? You know it, but you've forgotten. Okay, you know it, but you've forgotten. Raise your hand up. You've forgotten. No, don't be shy. You know it, but you've forgotten. So, how many of us have actually looked at the Bitcoin white paper? You've looked at it, be honest. Crypto enthusiasts. Some of us were all buying meme coins. We were investing in Inu and Inus. Well, sometimes I'm not surprised with our reactions when I see reactions of crypto enthusiasts in the industry. So way back 2016, I was somewhere in Calabar. A guy who does betting, he runs a betting platform, but he's like an athlete for this betting company. And they needed to move money to London to their headquarters, to the company they remit to. So then CBN brought up this restriction for dollar movement. And the demand for dollars started increasing. In short, we saw the dollar rise to about, on the black market in 2016, to about $400 and something. At the time, the people who were doing Ponzi schemes, MMM and co, were buying dollar for almost 500 naira per dollar. Of course, it was short-lived. And that was the period that now came into crypto. And I had this guy say, perfect money is scarce. Bitcoin is scarce. So they wanted to change their naira to crypto and transfer to London. And I had, when they were having a conversation, and I had crypto, and I had Bitcoin, not even crypto. And so I went on the internet. I'll end with this. I went on the internet and searched what is Bitcoin. And this guy called Andreas Antonopoulos showed up. He was teaching, I think, in Italy, the KPMG, some of these big four accountings. They were bankers in that hall. And it was the guy that inspired me into this crypto thing. And I finished listening to him. I was gripped. I was like, what? So there could be a network, an application that is based on consensus that one can use to send money from Brazil to Yugoslavia without any bottleneck. That day, from 6 p.m. that evening till 6 a.m. the next day, I was on YouTube watching videos. I got crazy and I took notes. I called one of my friends. I said, Maha, it's like a mentee to me. I was broke then. I had, how much did I have? And the guy gave me 200,000 naira loan. And I went on and I said, I'm going to start this Bitcoin thing. So I got one guy online. His name is Monday. So I trekked to the fast food to look for him. He showed me a blockchain wallet. I said, I want to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin was reading at $599. And immediately I bought, it went to 600, came back again to 598. And the excitement for me when I got my first Bitcoin was the sound on blockchain wallet. Tong. That thing was so sweet. I felt it. I said, what? So every time I'm doing business, so I started talking about Bitcoin, and people from Spain, people started reaching out to me. Chris, what's this crypto thing? I started talking to them. I even wrote a free ebook on ABC of crypto. Then on, I'm going somewhere with this. It is good that we have the NFTs, the meme coins. We want to get the Lambos. Those things are very good. We came here for the Lambos. We came here because we want to get rich. Financial inclusion and remittance is one major potential for crypto, for blockchain implementation. In short, I get comfortable using the word blockchain because Bitcoin is the first public blockchain. The invention of Bitcoin as an electronic peer-to-peer cash system is what made us to say, okay, let them build something that is a network, the public blockchain. And with all the bottlenecks we have in Africa, people now find it easier to go to Coinbase and send $100, $1,000. Auntie Wumi is in US. She needs to send money for her dad who is in Edo State. And she just sends the money. Her dad may not know how to convert the money, but there is one Chigozie that is the son or the last born. And that one knows how to use it. And that guy converts the money and pays for dad's medical bill, pays for all these things. Guess what has happened? I don't need to go through Coinbase, Western Union, UBA, and all those things. Those bottlenecks have gone on, have been removed. We can increase trade transaction volumes. Let me even give you an expo. A lot of your fintech platforms in Nigeria today are currently using stable coins to power operations. That's to tell you how big the industry you are in is. Somehow, we may not be a standalone infrastructure to just be a business. But if we can't be a standalone infrastructure alone all the time, we can be the things that help to power a lot of businesses. There are people, USDT did a documentary, a particular woman during the Naira issue, when people were coming to her, she couldn't see Naira. There was money transfer was hard. People were paying in USDT to us, stable coins. These things have happened. Young Ghanaians are doing this. Young tech executives are doing this. And so, I know our focus may want to be how we can get the 10x and the 50x. Beyond that, you can build businesses with remittance. Build businesses that will bank the unbanked. I know those words have been used so much, but you can do these things. We can create these platforms. We can go back to the original vision of what crypto is. It will make a lot of us cool down and actually sit down with ideas that will help Africa's economy. And see, young enthusiasts, young technology leaders, business leaders, we have Africa, 1.3 billion people. We have massive future in our hands. And I tell you, we can leapfrog, we can run if we could stay with the original visions that crypto and the blockchain technology has had for us. And that's why I'm calling everyone today. Don't just look at the Lambos again. Don't just look at how I'm buying the deep or I'm not buying the deep. I know some of you have stopped buying the deep because the more you bought the deep, you became a deeper life person. Beyond that, we could do something transformational. I tell you this, your floaters, your pay stacks, your business leaders, your this thing, Kenya, Ghana, this is increasing. Crypto payment platforms are also coming up on the rise. And so you should also get ready for this revolution. The blockchain technology isn't just another buzzword for us. Hey, blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. I know they've told you so many of those things. But hey, if there's anything I'll give you today in this event, focus on the core. It's a P2P cash system. Go on Binance P2P system. Check the daily volumes that happen. It is threatening your stock market. It is threatening some of the things they use Naira for. Some people even prefer. This guy was 16 years old when he came into crypto. Guess what? He never had a bank account at 16. And he was able to still do money transaction. Freelancers can stay in Nigeria. And you could have business people, if your bank accounts cannot receive all the dollars, you use crypto. Let's explore and let's keep re-emphasizing this usage. And let me tell you, when we do this, we are the one who have the upper hand over regulators. My CBAN president will be here. My CBAN members or some of our executives will be here. When you ask them, how does Chris Ani react to regulator? I'll tell you, we know the technology in our hand. If you know how powerful this thing called the blockchain technology is, you won't be begging government to use it. You won't beg the government to sit down in a meeting room because you now have economic freedom in your hand. And you can go to Dubai without Naira and you can move there and get to Dubai and spend money. You can go to Israel and spend money. You can go to Yugoslavia and spend money. And you're no longer limited by the economic policy or monetary policy of your central bank. Do not take this technology for granted. There's a future we're building here. Thank you very much.
Let's put our hands together.